Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have the immense pleasure of having Dr. Manigopa Chakraborty with us. Ma'am is Chief Scientist, come University Professor, GPB Bari, and the topic chosen for deliberation is maize in farming system. Uh, Ma'am, you're audible as well as visible, and also your presentation is visible. Please start.
Okay, good afternoon to each and every participant and welcome in my address. And already I have been introduced by your coordinator. But I want to tell that I am in genetics and plant breeding department working on maize for more than 15 years. And my topic will be in maize in farming system. And now I am going to start that our focus is integrated farming system and how integrated farming system is act for maize, what is the importance, significant role and future prospects. These will be the different aspects in which we will discuss with regard to maize and different types of maize, because maize is a very diversified crop. It has different types and different utility. So I start now with integrated farming system. As we know that integrated farming system is the answer to the problem of increasing food production for increasing income and improving nutrition of the small scale farmers with limited resource without any adverse effect of environment and agro ecosystem. It is the main aspect of integrated farming system. Then we can tell that the main objective of integrated farming system is to meet the multiple research objectives of poverty reduction, food security, competitiveness, and sustainability. Several researchers have suggested the integrated farming system approach, and which approach aims to increase the income and employment from small holding. Main important aspect is small holding by integrating various farm enterprises and recycling crop residues byproducts with the farm itself. Then Indian economy is predominantly rural and agriculture oriented, where the declining trend of size of land holding poses a serious challenge to sustainability and profitability of farming. In view of the decline in per capita availability of land from 0.5 hectare during 1950-51 to 0.15 hectare by the turn of the century and further decline to less than 0.1 hectare by 2020 AD, it is imperative on the part of National Agriculture Research System to develop such strategy and agricultural technology to be able to generate adequate employment and income, especially for small and marginal farmers who constitute more than 80% of farming community. Then I give the emphasis why integrated farming system, because declining trend of size in land holding poses a serious challenges to the sustainability and profitability of farming, and this area is declined tremendously from nowadays. It is very small, and in this trend, if this trend continues, the average size of holding in India would be less than 0.66 hectare and further to 0.32 hectare in 2030. It is a report of FAO. And this situation in India calls for an integrated effort to address the emerging issues. It is imperative to develop strategies and agricultural technologies that enable adequate employment and income generation, especially for small and marginal farmers. Then the integrated farming system approach is considered to be the most powerful tool for enhancing profitability of farming system. And these integrated farming systems require to be planned well and designed and implemented and analyzed for increasing productivity and profitability. Now I came with this much of introduction in integrated farming systems. I will concentrate on maize. As we know, maize is a cereal crop, and commonly known scientific name is Maize L, is the third most important cereal crop. next to rice and wheat, and has the highest production potential among cereals. It belongs to the Poaceae family and have equal to 20. It is also called as queen of cereals due to its highest genetic potential of yield capacity. Many forms of maize are used for food, such as popcorn, flint corn, sweet corn, waxy corn, amylose maize, pod corn, baby corns, etc. The kernel provides feed, food, and resource for many unique industrial and commercial products. By using genetic variation, the composition of the kernel can be altered for both the quantity and quality of starch, protein, and oil through kernel development. Now, consumption in India, we can see that maize is mainly consumed in India as poultry feed. In the developed countries, whereas the developing countries use it in general for feed. In Indian agriculture, maize occupies a prominent position, and each part of the maize plant, which is the main beauty of this plant, that each part of the maize plant is put to one or other use and nothing goes as waste. It is the most important beauty of that particular crop. Maize production in country is fully utilized domestically for food, and exports are very negligible, as I have already shown you in pie graph. Even with the spectacular increase during recent years in production of the finer cereals like rice and wheat, or also of jowar, coarse grain, there is no problem of surplus of maize. It is therefore inferred that with the increasing demand for food grains, relative population growth, maize will hold its share as an important cereal food grain. Taking into consideration that maize contributes about 6% of total cereal production and 23% of total coarse grains, the requirement of maize for food will be 8.2 million tons. It is also a report of FAO. Because of its worldwide distribution and relatively lower price, maize has wider range of uses. It is used directly for human consumption in industrially processing food as livestock feed and in industrially non-food products such as starches, acids, and alcohols. Recently, there has been interest in using maize for production of ethanol, which is most important in commercial purpose and substitute for petroleum-based fuels. The maize enjoys as one of the highest yielding among world's major crop of its own nature because it has efficient utilization of radiant energy, being a C4 plant, and fixation of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Also, when compared to other crops, the economics of maize cultivation is lowest. Among cereals, the millets and oils, oil is extracted only from maize. The fat content of that oil is about 80%, and maize acts as a source for the manufacture of starch, syrup, dextrose, oil, gelatin, lactic acid, etc. Corn flour is used as a thickening agent in the preparation of many edibles like soups, sauces, and custard powder. Corn syrup is also an important commodity, is used as an agent for confectionery units, and corn sugar, that is dextrose, is used in pharmaceutical formulations and sweet as a sweetening agent for soft drinks, etc. Corn gel, on account of its moisture retention character, is used as a bonding agent for ice cream cone as a dry dusting agent for baking products. Thus, maize cob, we know that the central rakish of which or to which the grains are attached remains as an agricultural waste after threshing. It finds many important agricultural and industrial uses. Approximately, it forms 15 to 18% of the total year weight and contains 35% of cellulose and 40% pentose and 15% lignin. Their uses in agriculture includes as a litter for poultry and as a soil conditioner. That means I already told you that in maize every part is used. Nothing goes waste. Now I come to the different types or classification of maize in several groups on the basis of endosperm of the kernels. These are, first is dent corn, which also called scientifically Gia maize indentata. It is also known as dent corn because of dent formation on the top of the kernel having yellow or white color. The depression or dent in the corn of the seed is the result of rapid drying and shrinkage of the soft starch. This type is extensively grown in USA. And second type is flint corn, which is called Gia maize indurata. This is the type first developed by Europeans. And kernels of this type are rounded on the top. It is grown in Europe, Asia, Central America, and South America. It is more common. It is the principal type of grain corn grown in India also. Then third type is popcorn. We know that popcorn, Gia maize inverta. Its cultivation is mainly confined to the New World, contains higher percent of hard starch with the little soft starch in the center. During the popping, this hard starch will break down and expand. It has small kernels with hard erroneous endosperm. Then fourth type is flour corn, Gia maize amylacea. It resembles flint corn and in appearance and ear characteristics. The grains are composed of soft starch and have little to no dent. Flour corn is one of the oldest type of maize grown widely in the USA and South Africa. Fifth type is sweet corn, Gia maize saccharata. The sugar and starch make the major component of the endosperm that result in the sweetish taste of kernels before they attain the maturity. And after maturity, the kernels become wrinkled. Nowadays, the crop is widely cultivated in peri-urban regions of the country. The cobs are picked up in green for canning and table purposes. Sixth one is waxy corn, Gia maize siratina. The kernels look to have waxy appearance with gummy starch because of higher amylopectin, even up to 100%. Whereas common maize starch is about 70% of amylopectin. Its origin is supposed to be the China, but many waxy hybrids developed in the USA are producing starch similar to that of tapioca and are grown commercially. Fourth is baby corn. It is most common in our country that it is the young year of female inflorescence. As you know that maize is a cross-pollinated crop and male and female inflorescence are separate. And this baby corn is the female inflorescence of maize plant harvested before fertilization. When the silk has just emerged, tender condition and the changing socio-economic scenario, the cultivation of baby corn and sweet corn are rapidly increasing, particularly in the peri-urban regions of the country. And due to proximity to big cities, baby corn and sweet corn are widely cultivated and subsequently sold at reasonable prices in the market. Farmers nowadays are growing 3 to 4 crops of this specialty corn or particularly baby corn in a year. Then seventh type is QPM, that is quality protein maize. It is a family of maize varieties and the grain of which contains nearly twice as much lysine and tryptophan. These are the amino acids that are essential for humans and monogastric animals. but are limiting amino acids in normal maize grains. QPM is the product of conventional plant breeding and an example of biofortification. That means it is the common, just like normal maize, but just quality of the kernel is changed. Some genetic improvement is there. Then it is due to quality, it is called as QPM. Then ninth type and last type is fodder maize. Most important is green forages are rich and cheapest source of carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, and minerals for dairy animals. The importance of forage in our country is well recognized since feeding forage alone accounts for over 60% of the cost of milk production. Hence, by providing sufficient quantities of fodder instead of costly concentrates and feed to the milk animals, the cost of milk production can considerably be reduced. You can see the importance of maize crop in various aspects. Then another type of classification on the basis of uses of maize, we can classify them that normal maize. Normal maize, what is that? These are the yellow and white maize grown as for grain as well as for green crop purpose. And the grain purpose, it can be grown in the area for the marketplace. For if you need the grain, it can be a far place, and for green crop purposes, it should be planted within vicinity of the marketplace for enhancing farm profitability to reduce the transportation cost. Then in details of quality protein maize, as you already discussed, that it has specific features of having balanced amount of amino acids with high content of lysine and tryptophan. These are essential amino acids, and the low content of leucine and isoleucine. The biological value of protein in QPM is 80%, just double than that of the normal maize protein, which is very close to the milk protein, that is 90%. Milk has 90% biological value, whereas QPM has 80%. And there are more than 9 QPM hybrids of different grain colors, white and yellow particularly, have been developed and released in India for their cultivation in different agroclimatic conditions across the country. The production technology of QPM is same as of normal grain maize, except isolation of 150 to 200 meter with normal maize must be maintained for the purity of QPM. Otherwise, genetic purity will be disturbed. This QPM should prefer and promoted in the maize-eating tribal areas of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Northeast Hill State and Bihar to ensure nutritional security. However, it can be cultivated in other areas also because it lowers down the feed requirement of poultry and piggery industries due to its high biological value. Then another type is baby corn. Baby corn is the young finger-like unfertilized crop, as already I have discussed, harvested within 1 to 3 days of silk emergence, depending upon the growing season. The baby corn cultivation is an employment generation enterprise which engage all the members of the family, like youth for marketing, women and children for picking, peeling and packaging, etc. In general, the cultivation practices of baby corn is similar to grain crop, except higher plant population. Higher, in general, 70,000 per hectare is recommended, whereas for baby corn, it should be more than 1 lakh per hectare plant population. And higher dose of nitrogen application because of higher maize production system for improving resource use efficiency and livelihood, and preferences for early maturing single cross hybrid and harvesting within 1 to 3 days of silk emergence. It can be cultivated round the year. It is the most important thing. Therefore, 3 to 4 crops of baby corn can be taken in a year and thus can be preferred in irrigated areas in peri-urban interface for crop intensification. Moreover, the fodder from green tassel, cob seed, and green plant left after picking can be used as nutritious fodder for the animal during lean period, which also promotes the livestock industries. In this way, the fodder growing areas may also adopt for the baby corn cultivation, which will give an additional income to the farmers. Then the last type is sweet corn, which is very delicious and rich source of energy, vitamin C and vitamin A. It is becoming very popular in urban areas of country. Therefore, its cultivation is remunerative in peri-urban farmers. Besides green crop, the green fodder is also available to the farmers for their cattle. Generally, sweet corn is early in maturity and it harvested in 70 to 75 days during Kharif season. Green crops are harvested after 20 to 22 days of pollination during Kharif, but the duration may vary season to season. Popcorn. It is the hard endosperm, flint maize, and one of the common snacks item in many parts of the world. It should also be grown in isolation to maintain its genetic purity of 150 to 200 meter with normal maize. It is also preferred in the hilly tracts as popcorn village concept in the far away areas from the cities. Fodder maize. The most important factor for preference of maize fodder is that it can be used at any crop growth stage. Any crop growth stage, it is the most important, which is not the case with other crop having anti-quality factors, because maize has no anti-quality factor. It is free from anti-quality factors. At some early crop stages, its quality is adversely affected after the anthesis due to immobilization of the nutrients. The tall, leafy, and longer duration cultivars are most preferred for maize fodder cultivation. The cultivation of maize fodder can be done round the year in any part of the country, except the sowing in North India should be avoided in the month of December and January due to very low temperature condition. And when we talk about the importance of crop and its availability, its utility in commercial purpose, then we should consider the availability of seed for its multiplication. And it is a cross-pollinated crop, so genetic purity should be maintained. For that purpose also, seed production is most important aspect in maize. And seed village concept is necessary for maintaining the genetic purity and addressing the isolation issue. To address the issue of isolation, non-traditional areas as well as seasons are most suitable for the seed production. The seed production of public bred hybrid in West Bengal and Rajasthan is an excellent example for in situ seed production and its availability at affordable price. So the seed production of hybrid can be taken up in these areas for enhancing income of farmers and ensuring availability of quality hybrid seed at affordable price in the market due to reduced transportation and handling cost. Now we can see the importance of maize as a sequential cropping, because in cropping system or integrated cropping, not a single crop will be important. All the crops should be taken into consideration, and maize provides sufficient opportunities for intensified sequential cropping due to wider adaptability under diverse soil and climate condition. Due to availability of different maturity groups, maize has different early, late, medium maturity groups from 85 to 200 days maturity groups of genotypes and various kinds of corn. It can be fitted well in any cropping sequence. The important maize-based intensified cropping sequence, including cereal, pulses, oilseed crops, vegetables, etc., adopted in irrigated and rain-fed condition of different agroclimatic zones, have cropping intensity of 200 to 400%. That means to double to 400 times. Industrial importance of maize. Apart from food and feed, maize has great demand in the development of various products in different industries like pharma, textile, paper, film, tire, processing, packaging, and biofuel, etc. More than 1,000 products are being developed from maize in India, and more than 3,500 products are developed in USA and other countries. So this is the pictorial presentation of maize in integrated farming system. We can say that maize can be intercrop with rice, wheat, jowar, bajra in all the season, growing throughout the year. Growing throughout the year. Then I come to the future prospects. In India, maize was introduced during the 17th century by Portuguese. And maize in India was traditionally a kharif crop or rainy season crop of northern India. However, since mid-1980s, there is a distinct shift in maize cultivation when larger area under maize shifted to peninsular India. Peninsular India. Currently, peninsular India represents over 40% of maize area and 50% of total maize production. Simultaneously, Rabi or winter maize. Previously, it was the Kharif maize or rainy season maize, but later stage, the Rabi or winter maize has also made significant inroads in non-traditional belts like coastal Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Telangana, West Bengal, and other states. And then spring maize, because maize can grow round the year. Spring maize is also becoming popular in northwestern plains, Punjab, Haryana, West and Uttar Pradesh. And the most principal maize growing states in the country are Karnataka, the area is mentioned in bracket, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan. And Rabi maize is gaining much faster spread in West Bengal in recent past. The estimates of world maize area production and productivity for 2021 was 193.7 million hectare and 1147.7 million tons with a productivity of 5.75 tons per hectare. In Indian scenario, the maize occupies 9.4 million hectare area with 28.5 million ton production and 3.03 ton productivity. Then come to the Jharkhand. In Jharkhand, maize is major crop and it is grown in an area of 2.4 million hectare during Kharif. In Rabi also there is some area and productivity is 12.3 quintal per hectare during Kharif, but in Rabi it is more than 20 and mostly grown as rain-fed upland crop. However, the production potential maize is not adequate in Jharkhand to meet the food demand or requirement. Therefore, to meet the increasing demands, area, production and productivity should be increased. And we can place here the renowned sentence or renowned belief of our renowned Nobel laureates, Dr. Norman E. Borlaug, the father of green revolution everybody has knows, and he believes that after the last 2 decades saw the revolution of rice and wheat, the next few decades will be known as maize era. And I want to include here that in this year during budget also our government of India has declared 2022 to 23 as a year of coarse grain, which includes maize. And which are the future prospects of specialty corn? Because if you want to increase or double the farmers' income, then you concentrate on this type of corn. And among these, we have already mentioned that QPM is one of the most in India. 84% of the maize produced is directly used either as feed or food, QPM. With respect to nutritional value, quality protein maize has better than the normal maize. In addition, the productivity of QPM is at par with the normal maize. And the biological value of QPM maize is double than the normal maize and higher than the wheat and rice and matches with milk and true protein digestibility. For true protein digestibility, it is equal to milk. The price of meat, egg, milk and their products have gone higher. This cannot be afforded by poor peoples of the country. Therefore, high biological value of QPM will reduce food or feed cost and its requirement, and these will provide solution to maintain the malnutrition in human being and benefit to poultry, livestock, feed, pig, fish, etc. QPM is the cheapest source of protein to the poor mass. QPM can be used as nutritionally superior food for children, means all age people can take it. For children, pregnant and lactating women, adolescent and old age population in the country. Since India has a large number of people with protein malnutrition, QPM maize is the solution to food and nutritional security. And several QPM value-added products have also been developed by different institutes. Now, the commercial importance of sweet corn, baby corn, and popcorn, these are also comes under specialty corn. The demand of baby corn, sweet corn, and popcorn is increasing every year. We have now in India, there is shortage of green fodder, and hence cultivation of baby corn and sweet corn will help for filling this gap without any additional land requirement or with additional income in the shortest possible time. The farmers are earning 50 to 60,000 rupees per annum per acre with the cultivation of 2 to 3 crops of baby corn and sweet corn and 100 quintal nutritious fodder per acre per crop. And by feeding this fodder, there is increase of about 15 to 20% milk. And farmer does not require additional land for fodder. You can see how it is important for doubling the farmer's income. Therefore, specialty corn cultivation helps the livestock industry in meeting the regular supply of green fodder for the growing dairy industries to increase the milk production of the country. The increase of urbanization, change in food habit, and the improved economic status, the specialty corn has gained significant importance in peri-urban areas of the country. To check the migration from rural to urban, to enhance the profitability and livelihood security of the farmers, suitable hybrids and production technology for baby corn and sweet corn need to be developed. Scope and potential of maize in India. The India maize sector is now on threshold of new revolution. Maize is important to India as 15 million Indian farmers are engaged in maize cultivation, having realized the potential of maize in generating better income for farmers while providing gainful employment. Maize qualifies as a potential crop for doubling farmers' income. There is a tremendous potential of growth of the maize value chain in the country. The consumption of maize has increased at a CAGR of 11% in last 5 years. Today, maize is the source of more than 3,500 products. You can mark it. These trends open up vistas of opportunity for India's maize sector. However, it is time to check if India is ready to capitalize on this opportunity. Although India has received maize production level of 26 metric ton, it would be required 45 million metric ton maize by 2022. That means we have to increase further. Maize is a multifaceted crop used as a food, feed, and nutritional crop globally. Maize has a very prominent role to play in the Indian economy too. Currently, this coarse grain is cultivated about 10.2 million hectares in India. These unique characteristics of maize make the crop a suitable crop candidate for enhancing farmers' income and livelihood in India. The increasing interest of the consumers in nutritionally enriched products and rising demand for poultry feed, which accounts 47% of total maize consumption, are the driving force behind increasing consumption of maize in the country. So, as per the demand estimates, the Indian maize production has to grow a CAGR of 15% in next 4 to 5 years. It is in response to such increasing demand, India needs to plan production by productivity increase and also reorient value chain if it is to serve the basic goal of remunerative prices for farmers. These are the 7 different references related to my presentation and farming system, integrated farming system. You can note down it. And this is thank you. It is the
Thank
end
you.
of the lecture.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, if you have any questions, please ask the ma'am.
I was audible to everybody, madam?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Please turn on your microphones and ask the questions if you have any question.
But what is the protein content of this QPM?
Protein content of maize varies from 7 to 14%. Total protein content, crude protein content. And QPM also, it varies from 9 to 12 or 13% total maize content. But main difference is essential amino acid, lysine and tryptophan, which is double than the normal maize. In comparison to normal maize in QPM, it is double. A normal maize, the lysine will be 0.36%, whereas in QPM it will be more than 1%. Previously it was 0.6% standardized, but nowadays with the development of genetic material, it is yardstick that every QPM should contain 1% lysine. And tryptophan in comparison to lysine is 4 times generally. It is the relation between lysine and tryptophan. These are the two essential amino acids which are more in that QPM genotype, but total protein content has no change. It is the same, 9 to 12%. Sometimes in some hybrids it is 13%.
Okay. Is there any difference in price, madam? This price of QPM maize and
Price, actually in price, in commercial price, it is certainly it is 2 or 3 rupees better higher, not much more. Now the MS supporting price for maize is 18.5. There is no differences for QPM. But when farmers grow it in our system, we assure them that you will get at least 2 rupees per kg more than the normal maize, because in poultry it is much more demanded.
yes, yes, madam. Thank you.
Any other question? Ma'am, there are no more questions. Thank you on behalf of NADCL. Thank you on behalf of participants. It was really nice presentation. Thanks once again.
Thank you,
We may
madam.
now leave this session
Yes.
and join back at 11 tomorrow. Thanks,
Okay, ma'am.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank